Oh, director Ben Affleck, I have missed you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Cam, here with my brief thoughts on Air. This movie was directed by Ben Affleck. It also stars him, as well as Matt Damon, Jason Bateman, Chris Tucker, Chris Messina, and Viola Davis, among others. And this is based on the true story of how Nike pretty much became the number one basketball shoe in the world by signing some guy named Michael Jordan. You might have heard of him.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
This movie takes place in 1984. Nike is in a firm third place in the basketball shoe game. They're good at running shoes, but the basketball department is ailing. And so Sonny Vaccaro, played by Matt Damon, comes up with the crazy idea of signing Michael Jordan. However, Jordan has committed to Adidas. But Vaccaro and his team do literally everything, move the earth almost, to sign Michael Jordan. When it comes to sports, I'm not a huge fan of it. I watch the Super Bowl a lot, and I see some basketball games, a lot of golf. So I am aware of it and I respect it, but I'm not a regular watcher of it. Sports movies, however, oh yeah, I'm totally down for that, especially sports movies that are based on sporting events that actually happened. Disney in the early 2000s into the mid 2010s released just a string of nothing but hits in the sports movies based on true story genre or something sports related but a work of fiction. Stuff like Miracle, The Greatest Game Ever Played, the latter of which is severely underrated. You all should watch it if you haven't. So whenever a new one is announced, I'm automatically excited. But then you got Ben Affleck directing, him starring in it, and also Matt Damon. We all know their relationship. Plus this cast and this story. You could not sign me up any more than this. And now, having seen it, I can officially say I don't think it's my favorite film of the year. That's still John Wick 4, but it's in the top five. And it's going to be hard to get out of the top five because I loved this movie. First and foremost, the performances are really solid across the board. Ben Affleck is, of course, really good. He's not really the focal point, though, but when he is on screen, he is really good. The focal point of the movie, though, is Matt Damon, 100%. And Matt Damon does his thing, and it is really good to see. There were several moments in the movie where I was just like, please, y'all, just put your trust in this guy. He clearly knows what he's talking about, but I had to take myself out of it and be like, oh, yeah, this is 84. Michael Jordan's not a thing yet. Because we have the benefit of hindsight of knowing that Michael Jordan is arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. We know this. They don't. Sonny Vaccaro in this movie is pretty much Henry Fonda from 12 Angry Men.
It's possible.
He's just saying it's possible to whoever will listen. He has this feeling deep in his bones that Michael Jordan is the guy, and Nike needs to sign him immediately. He's willing to bet the entire company on it. It's a drive that just radiates throughout this whole movie, and it's wonderful. Jason Bateman is really good as the head of marketing who doubts him at every turn. Ben Affleck is good, like I mentioned. Chris Messina, who is a surprisingly underrated character actor, is great as Michael Jordan's agent, and he's kind of a Richard. And then there's Chris Tucker, who I always love to see in pretty much anything. Viola Davis is predictably great. Really, what I love about this movie, I love it for two reasons. Number one is just how driven everyone is to get this deal done, because they know that if this doesn't work out well for them, then it's pretty much going to kill the company. And keep in mind, in 84, like I said, they're third in the market share of basketball shoes. It's Converse, Adidas, and in a distant third is Nike. So this is literally an all or nothing situation. And Sonny Vaccaro is so well aware of this and so good at what he does that seeing him do his thing is just a joy to behold. There's a great scene where he and Viola Davis's character, Michael Jordan's mom, are in the backyard of the Jordan home, and he basically lays out what's going to happen when Michael Jordan meets with representatives from Adidas and Converse. He basically says, here's what's going to happen at these meetings. And more or less, that's exactly what happens. And another thing I love about this movie is that despite that this outcome is very well known at this point, I mean, Air Jordans are still, I believe they said at the end of the movie that Air Jordan, the brand, makes about $4 billion for Nike. So we all know how this story ends. There were several times, a couple specific times in this movie where I literally almost got out of my theater seat and was just yelling at the top of my lungs.
You what?
It takes a special talent to be able to doubt the outcome of something that we already know. That's why when a true story can make me do that, it's in the upper echelon. Really, I'm having a hard time thinking of things I didn't like about it. I guess one small thing is all of the 80s references that feel just like they feel smothering at a certain point. You're like, hey, this is 84. Hey, this is 84. Like to the point where there's actually a little montage at the beginning of the movie where Hulk Hogan defeats the Iron Sheik to win his first WWE title. And I was like, wow, that they actually included that here. Not to mention the soundtrack is loaded with 80s songs. And not gonna lie, I do like I do like a lot of the songs, but I guess my point is it's a little distracting. But again, I'm really splitting hairs. This is an easy, amazing grade for me. It's going to be hard to get out of my top 5 of the year, but I loved every minute of this. But what did you all think of this movie? What's your favorite Ben Affleck movie? Anyone that he's directed, of course. Leave it in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And if you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.